Welcome back to another episode of the From Half Court Sports Talk Show with Darren and Rob. I'm your host, Rob. That's my co host, Darren. We're going to be continuing previewing the NFL teams for this upcoming season. This week, we're going to be touching on the AFC North, the best division in football, um, as of right now.
What?
As of right now, the
I don't
best
know how you
division in
could possibly.
football. Today, we'll be covering the Baltimore Ravens. So, Darren, do you have anything to say about the Baltimore Ravens
I got
last
what?
season, how they
100.
finished in their draft?
Yes, 100%. My biggest problem is that you said that you're the best division and you have no proof for that. But I'm gonna leave that alone.
We're the most competitive
Um,
division in football.
no, you're not. Uh,
Every time we
no.
meet, it's black and blue football.
I just disagree with you. I would argue one of the most historic uh divisions in football. I would say that y'all got a lot of Hall of Famers in y'all division, but I just don't think that. That being said, the Ravens. Last year kind of a disappointment. But the biggest highlight for me for the Ravens last year was I don't like their offensive coordinator. Still don't like him. Greg Roman's still there. Do not like him. Um, Hollywood's gone, so all those targets might be distributed better. That was my biggest problem. Is that the play art was just terrible, and they just kept giving the ball to who they thought was their best receiver, but I don't think it was their best receiver. Um, as for the draft, they had a really good draft. Getting the center Lindenbaum, I believe his name was.
Yeah, Linderbaum.
Yeah, him. And also Kyle Hamilton. I thought those were two big pickups in that first round. Besides that, they did really well with the depth of their first round or the depth of their draft. Yeah, I'm excited to see this team. I got them winning the division.
Um, the Ravens going coming into the season, obviously last year was very disappointing for them because they had a ton of injuries. Literally, their whole running back room got hurt, and they started pulling running backs off the couch. From their off the couch. They had like Devontae Freeman at one point. They had Le'Veon at one point. They're just calling running backs who are sitting on their couch eating like porridge or something. They come play running back for them for a couple weeks. So obviously weren't going to have a great season last year. I think it's miraculous that they even finished as well as they did. Last year they finished the season 8-9. I think that's a great outcome for how injury prone their team was, especially since it's such a run heavy team. It just looked like Lamar had to do a lot. He had to play Superman every single week. And Lamar's a great player, but he can't be perfect. You can't expect him to be perfect every single week. I think that's incomprehensible. I fucked that word up. But to speak on their draft, I think they had one of the best drafts in football. You already mentioned picking up Kyle Hamilton and Tyler Lindenbaum. I think the steal of the draft for them was David Ajobu. He was the pass rusher out of Michigan that played on the other side of um, Aiden Hutchinson. He had a really good year at Michigan this past season. He's really dominant. He gave us problems when they played Ohio State. I think if he can become a Pro Bowl type pass rusher for them, this team's defense just gets better, and that's really scary because of how good their corners already are. Like you mentioned before, they did get a lot of depth at other positions. Bro, look how many fourth round picks they had. They had six of them. Like that's disgusting. In my opinion, that's just good good trades and draft movement. Like
Yeah, I'm
I
counting
haven't
five.
seen anything like that before.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Most of these guys are going to work. One thing that I think Baltimore really does a good job is developing their players and drafting them to fit into their scheme. Speaking to the injuries, though, like you said, their corners also got hurt. Marcus Peters got hurt at the beginning of before the season started, and Marlon Humphrey got hurt somewhere in the season. And Lamar, as much as you say he can't play Superman, he also got sick. I think 2 times last year and missed like multiple games as much as also an injury. So he missed a good couple of games as well. But like you said, he can't be Superman for this team. but they should also pay Lamar. I feel like we've been through a lot of teams, but Lamar is the one where I get reminded he's the only person that hasn't got paid, and I think the organization needs to pay him.
How much?
I don't know. I don't do that, but they need to pay him. He's a top quarterback. There is no question about that.
I, I'm honestly kind of with you on that. He's not in the same situation Baker is. Lamar is proven, um, what he is in this league. He's proven that he is a starting quarterback in this league. So, and he's also a high end starting quarterback for what he does for this team and the way he's able to run the football. And not
And he
only
gets
that, their whole offensive scheme is based around Lamar, and it works really well from a running standpoint. They're really dominant in the run game.
he's also a quarterback that got better year after year. Like going into the off season, year after year, you can tell he's been working on one thing, and he's getting better at one thing each year.
I'm glad you mentioned that because that was the next thing I saw say. Um, yes, he's getting better every year, but he still has so much. There's still so much room for him to grow. Um, as a passer, as a decision maker, in all aspects of the game. So I still see there's like still a crazy high ceiling for him as a quarterback. I think everything is just going to be. I don't want to say given to him, but I think he's in the best situation to win in Baltimore.
Yeah, but I think their offensive coordinator is trash. When you say decision makers, when I disagree, like that's when I shook my head because I don't know if he's a bad decision maker because the play art is that bad. It's one of those like, oh, he's maybe doing the best that he can do with what's being called,
So,
and then if you're trying to say he should be that person that changes the play at the line, I don't know,
so I have a question about that before we move on. Do you think the play art is bad or is it simplistic?
simplistically bad. Yeah, it got to the point, and I should know this as a person who's just watching football, and it's not like I watch a ton of Ravens games, but I saw them. I at least caught 4 Ravens games at least, and it was just like, oh, this is they're doing the same thing they did versus the Raiders week 1, and it's like the same situation. Like, oh, this is third and long. This same route combination is about to get caught.
Hmm. So is it too predictable?
100%.
Okay. All right. Well,
Lamar is the only thing that is the X factor opposed to the predictability. Is what can he do out of it?
you think that's why a lot of plays break down and he has to make a play with his legs?
I
You
think
think
that's
Lamar's
why you
making it
look.
look better than it really is?
I think that's why you saw this offense start to wane down a little bit, as the season progressed. They actually started out pretty good for not having those running backs, but they came to a shootout with Detroit where they went off that Justin Tucker kick. Detroit's not a great defense. No disrespect to them. Last year anyway, they played hard, but it was just like they. I don't know. To me, it became predictable.
Okay. Um, I think it's interesting that you say that. Um, Mike Tomlin said the same thing about them. I believe it was this year. When we won the beat them by like 1 point. He said they based all their offense on statistics and things like that. So that makes their offense very predictable. You kind of know what they're going to do. So I think it's very interesting that you state that. Now, off of that, let's go ahead and check out their roster, their depth chart for the year going into the season. We already talked a little bit about Lamar. How do you feel about this running back situation coming into the year?
I like the depth that they have. All the guys pretty much are thumpers. So I like the fact that they kind of went with all the same kind of running back. I like the fact that they added a vet in Mike Davis and Justice Hill, I believe. I think he's been there with the team for a while. Um, but yeah, I like the running back core. I just want J.K. to be healthy though.
If JK can stay healthy, he can definitely be a Pro Bowl back in this offense. It's built to run the football. So I think he's gonna be able to get enough carries to be able to do that. Obviously, they're probably going to play with some type of rotation. I'm not sure how long Gus Edwards is out for.
He had a pretty bad injury too, right?
It said it was a knee injury.
Yep.
So hopefully he can get back so they can be able to rotate them together. I think that would be really good for the offense. The biggest thing I wanted to speak on this offensive side though was their receiving room. I don't believe they improved their receiving room at all. It still feels like they're banking on Rashad Bateman to be something. Um, I don't think this team is a good passing team at all, and it doesn't help that they don't have any quote unquote standout receivers. I think somebody like a Julio Jones. And since we're talking about Odell earlier, Odell Beckham could really open up this offense for them. They don't need a lot of guys like that, but they at least need one, just to help this team uh, balance itself on offense. We already know how run heavy they are, but they need to be able to balance it a little bit better.
I kind of agree. Um, I kind of agree. I can't fight you on the depth of the receivers. Devin Duvernay is good, but he's not Julio Jones, for example,
Hmm.
or Odell. I agree with you. Adding either one of them can open up this offense, but I also don't believe that Greg Roman would open up the offense. To be honest with you, but I also like Mark Andrews as their main pass catcher. To be honest with you, and I'm a big fan of Rashad Bateman personally.
We already know how great of a tight end Mark Andrews is, so unless you have anything to say more about him, he's just a elite tight end. Doesn't get talked about a lot because of the guys a little bit above him, but he's still elite and he's still dominant in this league.
Very productive.
All right. Talking about their offensive line, how do you feel about their offensive line going into this year?
Looks like they have really good depth at their offensive line. Even their backups are kind of like names that I know. Um, I think it's very good for them. When I saw them pick up Linderbaum, I was like, "Yeah, this is great." They're just doubling down on the run. One thing about Linderbaum is that he don't got very, very long arms, so that doesn't probably really help with pass coverage or pass blocking. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not really too mad about it. I
PFF,
like this.
go ahead.
Nope, I'm good.
So PFF coming into the season has them ranked 17th in the league. They say it's no coincidence that last time we saw Lamar Jackson playing at an elite level was when Ronnie Stanley was healthy. The tackle earned an 89.4 overall grade back in 2019, but has played 380 snaps in the 2 seasons since. This line operates a lot differently with him in the mix. So yes, I agree with them that he should definitely make an impact on the team. Um, but I would like to go back to what you were saying about Tyler Lindenbaum. The one thing I heard he was a great center coming out of college, but the one thing I learned over the past couple years was short armed linemen aren't the greatest. I learned that on my team from the Kendrick Green. He has very short arms, and he was moved to center. So I actually expect Tyler Linderbaum to do really well in this offense. I think he's made for this offense. We'll see how he does in the passing game this coming year. According to everything I've seen on him scouting wise, they say he's not bad in passing coverage, but he's not elite either. So we'll see how he progresses. He's still young in his career. He could definitely get better over time.
Sure. And we're excited to see it.
Another thing I wanted to touch on was their left tackle Alejandro Villanueva. He played for them last year. Homie was getting torched week after week. I'm pretty sure they got rid of him, and it looks like they're going to replace him with Ronnie Stanley. So that should make all the difference in the world because Homie was terrible last year, to say the least. Um, First game of the season against the Raiders, gave up like what 5 sacks to Max Crosby. So yeah, I think that's definitely going to improve the line a lot. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the defense. Um, who obviously we know the standouts in the defense, the corners, and the new pass rusher they got. How do you feel about some of these other guys on the team, like Patrick Queen?
And Patrick Quinn is elite. I don't know how else to say that. He's elite. Um, he was, I think, their most healthy player on defense, consistent player last year. Marlon Humphrey had a good season, but he was getting targeted, getting more targets because of Marcus Peters being out. Um, his defense is elite. 100% all across the board. That's a scary defense to line up against, especially for um, let's say Deshaun Watson, who's coming off of his situation. If he has to play this defense, it's not going to be an easy lineup. Mitchell Trubisky missing a whole year. That's not a good defense for him to line up against. Um, Even Joe Burrow coming off of a Super Bowl, as long as their offense is able to put up points, Baltimore's, then it's not a defense that he really wants to go up against.
The most surprising thing I see is they have Kyle Hamilton. He's not starting right away. I guarantee he's starting by the end of the season. Um, Chuck Clark is a good safety, but I guarantee Kyle Hamilton's starting by the end of the season. I feel like they're going to do a lot with him. Um, I I really see him as a linebacker that can play safety. I think he's going to be in the box a lot to help stop the run games, and I think this dude can do whatever you want. The only thing that you should be watching for him is his coverage skills. I'm not expecting him to be a great cover safety right off the bat, um, which is maybe why they have him slotted and at the second position. But I expect him to help a lot in the run game.
I think it's just amazing the people that they have as second stringers. Justin Houston being a second stringer is crazy to me. Kyle Hamilton, Kyle Fuller, those are just crazy names to be at the second, being on the bench essentially. But they're going to come in and do work. I'm guessing Kyle Fuller will probably be the corner who comes in to play that third corner role when they do have to go to that. But this team is stacked.
As long as they can stay healthy, they should be able to definitely. They should definitely be in the contention for um, the AFC Championship, in my opinion. All right,
Justin Tucker is the best kicker that I've seen with my own two eyes.
ever.
That I've seen with my own two eyes.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to their schedule. See what we think they're going to do this year. Um, they start off week 1 at the New York Jets.
That's a win.
I think that's a win as well. I would love to see how these young corners play against these elite corners. Uh, I it should tell you a lot about young receivers, in my opinion. Um, Game of the week, in my opinion, week 2 versus Miami. I have Baltimore winning this game. I like how Baltimore matches up against Miami. I don't expect Tua to play a good game in this game. And from what I know about Miami's defense, I think they will struggle against Baltimore's run game in this game. Um, I expect J.K. Dobbins and whoever their secondary running back to play really well in this game.
Um, so to me, this is a toss-up game. I'm going to choose Baltimore to win this game. Um, Not necessarily because I don't believe in Tua. I just don't think that the Miami's defense is really made for the run game, opposed to the passing defense. I don't know how to put that. Uh, and not necessarily that Tua will struggle. It's just everybody's on Miami's going to struggle that day. New head coach, everything. Yeah.
Week 3 at the New England Patriots.
I got them. No, that's a tough game to choose. Uh, I'm going to take the Patriots to actually win this game.
I'm going to disagree with you on this one. I have Baltimore winning this game.
Mhm.
Once again, I just like how Baltimore matches up. They both have really good defenses. I think Baltimore's defense is better and matches up better. I think Baltimore's defense matches up better against New England's offense than New England's defense matches up against the Ravens offense. And that's why I like them to win this game. I think Mac Jones is going to struggle, to say the least, in this game.
I think Bill Belichick makes Lamar struggle.
All right. Week 4 versus the Buffalo Bills.
What you got?
I like the man. This is crazy, man. They're playing all these good defenses right off the bat. I like the Bills in this game. I think the Bills are just a better all around team. Personally, I like Josh Allen a lot. I think he has the ability to make every throw in the game. They have a really stacked receiving core coming into this year. It's going to be fun to see how they match up against the Ravens. What's really going to hinder Buffalo is their running game, and that's what I really want to see. Are they going to be able to run the football out the shotgun to help to make it easier on their passing game? And I think that will be tell you if they're going to be able to win the game or not. I like how they match up. I'll have Buffalo winning.
Um, Buffalo struggles with running teams. The way I've seen it personally, they struggle with running teams. Uh, Especially if that running team has a very good defense on the other side. So I'm going to take the Ravens to win this game. If you need proof, look at the Titans game from the past 2 years that Buffalo has played.
Week 5 versus Cincinnati, their first divisional game of the year, and
So I
it's a
got them.
night game against Cincinnati too. So that's be
Yeah, I
really
got
interesting.
it. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Sunday night, Joe Burrow. But personally, this is where Lamar shines. And I think Lamar beats Cincinnati right here.
I actually like Cincinnati in this game, especially since it's a night game.
Mm.
Uh, I think Jamar Chase is such a dominant force at receiver. It doesn't really matter which corner you put on him. He should have a good game. Uh, I don't. I don't think he played both of them last year. So I would love to see how that matchup works. I think he's big enough and fast enough that it won't matter. So I
Mm.
expect the Bengals to put up a lot of points in this game.
Huh.
Saying that though, I don't expect them to slow down this Ravens offense at all. So I can see like a 40 to like 24 victory or something like that.
Boy, we're gonna have to disagree on that one. And Patrick Queen does not like Joe Burrow, and they both went to LSU
Oh, what's their
and won
beef?
that championship. What's up?
What's their beef?
Something in practice at LSU. They just don't fuck with each other. Patrick Queen does not like Joe Burrow. He was not happy for him when he got drafted number 1 overall or some shit like that. I don't know if that's the right thing, but they asked him about it, about him going and having to go up against his former teammate. He was happy, opposed to like, oh yeah, that's my guy. No, it was nah. I'm ready to see him now that
That's
he has his corners back there
mm-hmm.
and his offense is going to be there. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Ravens.
Well, that's fun. That's gonna be really fun to look forward to. Week 6 at the New York Giants. So this should be a really easy victory for the Ravens. The Giants don't have an offense whatsoever. I don't expect them to score the ball at all. Honestly, a lot of field goals from the Giants.
Um, I agree with you that the Ravens should win, but I do think the Giants has a really good defense. A good defense, not a really good defense. I like Leonard Williams, and also I disagree with you with the fact that you're saying the Giants don't have an offense. They got people at receiver and Kadarius Tony. Who's the guy who came over from Detroit a year ago? Kenny Galladay. Saquon is still there. I like their team. I just once again new head coach. I just think they're I just think Lamar is gonna be able to win in New York.
Week 7 versus the Cleveland Browns.
So second divisional game, more historical in that sense. But they're home versus Cleveland. I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Ravens win this game as well, but it could easily go the opposite way. I've seen Nick Chubb do what he wanted to do versus the Ravens.
This is
But
possibly
I'm
Deshaun's first game back too.
yeah, possibly, but I think he'll either struggle, especially with that defense that he'll be going up against. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Ravens, but if Cleveland wins it, Nick Chubb is there. Nick Chubb shows up for 200 plus game, 200-yard plus game.
If anybody has a big day on the Cleveland Browns, offensively, it will be Nick Chubb. I think Nick Chubb is going to be able to dominate whatever defense they see this year. They have way too good of an offensive line, and he's way too good of a running back. Um, they're going to let their presence be known every single week in the run game, especially if Deshaun's not there, and they're going to be forced to run the ball more often. Week 8 at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You have winning weeks up.
The Ravens.
Okay. You didn't say that. You just hyped up the Cleveland. So I wasn't sure. But yeah, we on week 8, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's all you.
All right. So this is a Thursday night game versus Tampa Bay. I think this should be a really fun game. But as we know, Thursday night games tend to be kind of boring. And if this is a boring game, I expect Lamar to have a bad game and Tampa Bay to be able to pull this out. And I expect Lamar to get shitted on all day Friday for no reason.
Uh, they'll have a winning record at this point. So I don't think he'll get shit on if he does take this loss. And I think I'm gonna pick that he is gonna take the loss right here, specifically because Tampa Bay's linebackers are still there. And I think if anything, they'll be more Brady versus Lamar. Um, that being said, I think they have a good back half. They don't have to. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Tampa Bay to win this game, but I think it's a closer game than what people think.
Week 9 at the New Orleans Saints on Monday Night Football.
So it's crazy that you play 4 games, you 4 days away from Tampa Bay in the Cleveland divisional game, and then you get this long 10-day break, uh, 10 or 11 day break, honestly. Monday night. Um, this is a really good game as well, honestly. Jameis Winston has all the receivers on the outside, so can he get it done? Lamar versus a very good defense, a very stout defense. I'm going to take the Saints to actually win this game, though. Um, actually, yeah, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. I'm going to pick the Saints to win this game, but Jameis Winston might throw 2 picks still.
Oh, it's Jameis. Jameis, that's Jameis's best friend. Um, I like the Ravens in this game. I expect them to win this game. I expect it. I expect it to be closer than people think, but I still expect the Ravens to dominate this game from whistle to whistle. I think it's their game to lose. Then they have a Week 10 bye, and Week 11 they play the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, they're going to beat the Panthers. There's no other way of saying it.
Yeah, they're just a way better team than the Carolina Panthers. I expect them to win that game as well.
I think the Panthers are just a year behind. They have a good defense, but their offense, if Christian McCaffrey's not there, they're not going to do nothing.
Week 12, they're at Jacksonville. I think this is another handily win for them. They still get to play against a young Trevor Lawrence, who I expect to struggle against this defense, especially since I don't remember how long Christian Kirk is going to be out for. So I expect them to struggle. I have Baltimore winning.
What's wrong with Christian Kirk?
Didn't Christian Kirk get hurt like a couple weeks ago? Like a week ago?
I don't know. I don't think that. I don't know that. Well, while you look that up, I'm going to go ahead and say the Ravens are going to win this game. Um, I like Trevor, but he has struggled with very good defenses, and I just think it's going to be a very interesting team team win. But he might honestly embarrass the whole defense. Lamar might embarrass the whole defense of Jacksonville. This might be one of those heavy highlight tape games.
So right now he's dealing with a minor ankle injury. So he should be ready by week 1. So it
By,
should be fine.
by week 11, he should definitely be ready. That's why I asked that. Um, or week 12. But going into week 13 versus Detroit, what you got?
It's Denver.
Not Detroit, Denver. My fault, Denver.
I really like Denver coming into this year. I just still don't think they have enough on the offensively to win this football game. I still think Lamar and that offense and the defense are way more balanced than they are. So I like the Ravens in this football game to win.
Um, it's a tough game to pick, of course. I actually like Denver's weapons. I just think they're young. I think if Tim Patrick's out too for the year, that's not good. With that being said, though, I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Ravens to win this game, especially because they're at home.
Week 14 at Pittsburgh.
Uh, Go ahead.
So I expect the Ravens to win this game. Uh, Rookie quarterback should be starting by this point of the season. I expect him to struggle against his defense. I think the defense is just going to be way too good for him. The only way I see us winning is if Najee has a crazy game, which I do see is possible. If he touches the ball like 20, 25 times, rushing and reception wise, maybe, but you have to go super crazy. Um, so I don't see us winning this first game at all.
Uh,
Not to
Um,
mention my fault. Not to mention that I think their pass rush is getting better this year as well.
yeah, I'm gonna take the Ravens as well. I just think Pittsburgh got some questions to answer, and Week 14 they probably answer by now, but it's not for sure. And if I have to pick, I like Pittsburgh's offense better, but I like the X factor of Lamar more.
What do you like better about it?
He can do it all.
No, no, no. I'm not Lamar. I'm sorry. What do you like better about the Pittsburgh's defense? Is what I'm asking.
What do I like about the Pittsburgh defense?
What do you like more about the Pittsburgh defense? Because you said the X factor was Lamar, and that's why you like them better.
That's why I like the Ravens better.
Correct.
What do I like about Pittsburgh's defense is your question though.
Compared to Baltimore's.
Compared to Baltimore's defense,
No, no. Let me re-answer the question. Ask the
yeah.
question. What do you like the Pittsburgh's offense better than Baltimore's defense? Offense. What offense do you? Why do you like Pittsburgh's offense better?
I think Canada can draw plays better than Greg Roman, honestly. And then I think more receiving weapons. I
So you
think
just really hate
Pittsburgh
this
has
nigga scheme, basically.
yes, and I think Pittsburgh has more receiving weapons.
Okay. All right. Week
I don't know how
15.
to emphasize that. If you get anything from this video at this point, I don't like Greg Roman's offense. I think that should be the main thing about this video. He is holding Lamar back, and it's bullshit.
Good to know. All right. Week 15 at Cleveland.
Sheesh. At Cleveland, this is tough. This is a tough one. Because of the turmoil, and even if Deshaun is playing, it's going to be a changing of the guard middle of the season. So I'm going to say that the Ravens are going to win this maybe on a field goal.
Um, I actually like the Browns in this game. Late in the season, they're going to know who they are, their identity more. I expect their defense to be a little bit better than it was last year. So I'll take the Browns in a late season win. Week
Okay.
16 versus Atlanta. I expect the Ravens to win this game.
Yeah, I think they'll win it as well. But Desmond Ritter or Marcus Mariota, I'm very interested to see who's going to be playing at quarterback during this game specifically.
All right, week 17 versus Pittsburgh.
Uh, got them beating Pittsburgh the first time. Time they're at home. Uh, this is a night game? Nope. Mm, this is a tough pick. Um, Najee, Pat Farmouth. Mm, I'm going to say that the Ravens defense is still going to be healthy on the backside and win this game.
All right, so I like us more in this game than I did the first game. I think we'll be able to play better to the defense just because we have the film to work on. Also, I meant to mention this the first time. Historically, Lamar's career record versus Pittsburgh is 1-3. Um, Technically, it's 2-3, but he didn't play his rookie year like that. I don't think he got any snaps in the game, so I guess it's just 1-3. He's only beaten Pittsburgh one time in his career as a starting quarterback. And the thing I've noticed about playing Lamar, first of all, I think we scheme for Lamar really well. I like how TJ Watt, no matter what it is on a QB option play, he always just stays and looks at Lamar. He's watching Lamar no matter what, and that could hurt us like up the middle running the football. But it seems like TJ can still make some of those plays here and there too. But another thing about Lamar that when he plays us, I feel like he throws like 2 picks against us every single time he plays us. And like he just can't help himself. And it's not like difficult throws. He's just straight up just missing his target. So I expect us to win that game.
Week 18 at Cincy.
I'm assuming by this point, either they have their playoff spot locked up or they're fighting for a playoff spot. I expect Joe Burrow and them to have it locked up already, so I actually don't expect Joe to even be playing in this game.
Uh,
So I'll take Baltimore to win this game.
the days of sitting your quarterback the last week, the sitting your players last week are probably pretty much dead. I don't think that's a thing anymore because you have to play because you want the number one seed, so you can sit your players a whole week. Opposed to, I don't know, I don't know. Maybe
I
I'm wrong.
Well, I feel what you're saying, but that's only if you're competing for the number one seed. If you have your third spot locked up, I don't see a reason to play your quarterback. Yes, if you have a shot at it, definitely you should play it. But if you don't have a shot at getting it, like the team's like 2 games, 3 games has a better record than you, there's no point of even risking it.
Isn't there always a shot though?
Not if they're up 2 or 3 games,
Put it like
no.
this: when was the last time a quarterback sat because they had the number one seed? Did Ryan Tannehill sit the last week of the Titans game?
Last year, I don't believe so.
He did it. This is what I'm saying. That doesn't happen no more. That's not a thing. So Joe Burrow will be playing in that game. Uh, and I think the Ravens, honestly, from what I've had, I got them winning a lot of games. So it's debatable that they'll have the number one seed or the winning spot in this division. That being said, I think it's going to be a shootout. Um, I don't know if this is gonna be a cold weather game for all the marbles. I'm gonna take the Ravens to win the game. I got them doing very well versus your division this year.
Same. I think they should at least a minimum trade most of their games. Um, the only games I expect them to sweep team that I expect them to sweep is the Browns.
No, you didn't. I think you got them going 1-1 with the Browns.
Uh, yeah, you're right. Because I had Nick Chubb going crazy in the second
I
game.
could be wrong. But yeah, good season. I got them winning this division. Cincinnati takes a back seat, probably not number 2 seed, but yeah, I got the Ravens winning the division. They're built a specific way. If they play that specific way, they're really good, especially if they're not trailing in games. Corners are really good. If they got the lead in games, they should be very solid to win that game.
I expect a lot of Baltimore this year. If not this year, when? That's the way I'm looking at Baltimore right now. I feel like they're in the same position as the Bills. They just need to get over that fucking hump and get it done. Especially when you have young quarterbacks like Joe Burrow walking in like he's fucking Urban Meyer in year two going to a fucking Super Bowl. If not now, when? That's the way I look at Baltimore. You got
I think
anything
that's a
else?
terrible way of looking. That's a terrible way of looking at it. You shouldn't compare yourself to another organization like Cincinnati. You're the Ravens. You perennially get to the playoffs. The Cincinnati got hot one season and got to the playoffs. Like, don't compare yourself to them.
Okay.
If Cincinnati did this year after year after year, getting to the playoffs or getting to the Super Bowl or winning the playoff game, yeah, you can say something. But that's the Ravens. That's not Cincinnati. People be hyping up Cincinnati like Ravens ain't been here this whole time, and they didn't get injured in the preseason.
Okay. You got anything else to say before we wrap up?
Nope, nope.
All right. Thank you guys again for watching another episode of the From Half Court Sports Talk Show with Darren and Rob. Make sure you leave us a comment down below. Let us know who's better, Baltimore or Cincinnati. Who's going to win this division this year, in your opinion? Let us know in the comment section down below. Also, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. That will be helpful. We'll see y'all next time when we do the Cleveland Browns. Peace out.
Peace. Y'all stay up.